Right, it is Milan Fashion Week, and Prada just did their menswear show for 2026 spring summer. I've looked at a couple of looks so far, but I want to do a mostly blind kind of review of it and just talk about the show and what I think it means. So if you're interested, leave a like and let's check it out. So again, I did see a bit of this already, and from what I saw, it looked very chaotic, and I think there's a good reason for that, which I can go into in a little bit. Basically, Mucha and Simmons kind of take on the algorithm right now, but you can kind of see, I mean, this first guy's wearing, like, the big theme of the show is the gams are out, like dressy loafers and dress socks with like a camp collar shirt tucked into like resort shorts. Like, kind of, it doesn't really make sense in a lot of ways. So I mean, at the very least, it's interesting. I mean, I'll say this much. Okay, so like, again, that leather jacket that's got some like interesting little charms on it, and the hats are like I don't know if you caught that, but like also these rolled up sleeves. Yeah, I gotta pause. This is going too fast. These like rolled up sleeves on this, double breasted coat with the sort of track jacket underneath it. Like, it seems like they're really deliberately trying to do this sort of mix and matchy look, like things that don't go together. Also, I think it's worth noting the hems on these pants. That was like the first thing that stood out to me, just because baggy oversized has been so in for a while, and like full break and like 2 times full break on pants. Now it seems like everything's a reaction to everything else, but now it seems like we're maybe going the other way. And Prada is leading the charge, but whether or not it will stick, that's the question. Okay, so I did see a ton of this raincoat, many different looks in different colors and everything. That seems to be like a kind of consistent theme. It's very simple, little rounded collar there. And then again, underneath, like with this like tracksuit underneath, and again, what looks like dress shoes. It's funny. I'll get to it in a minute, but it reminds me of, don't make fun of me. It reminds me of Balenciaga. So there's one of these hats again, which I kind of hate. It's a very strong word, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that like I would never see myself wearing. I don't like, I gotta make a fashion hot takes video about this. I don't like bucket hats. I'm sorry. I know everyone does. This is like bucket hat times 1,000. They look like lampshades. And I'll say this much. I didn't really like the YSL like thigh-high leather boots either. I thought they were kind of goofy, and everyone and their mom lost their minds about those. So for all I know, this will be like the next big look. There's that trench coat again in black, again over a trench coat, and those flower pot hats. I'm also not loving these bags. There's that look again with the rolled up sleeves, almost like they're trying to rebel against the bagginess by like cinching it up as much as possible. I do like the suit though. I don't know. I'd have to get a better look at the bags. I think they look like they're nylon, and they look very like utilitarian. Like they look like they're like Gorp, you know. They're for throwing your stuff in and getting stuff done. That looks like a backpack. Yeah. That looks like a camping backpack. Or like a hiking backpack, you know. Again, tracksuit. What do you want to bet those tracksuits are? $3,000. Those shoes are kind of cool. My only, and there's this variation you'll see a lot with these lampshade hats, flower pot hats, whatever you want to call them, that has like aggressive, like straw unweaving kind of happening. It's interesting, but I don't know that it like is something that I'm interested in wearing, if that makes sense. I did see some notes on this show that were talking about like this show is all about like optimism. Again, I just want to go back and look at the cut on those pants. You see that complete lack of break, and maybe a little flare. Looks like a little flare to me. Flare pants are huge. I'm kind of obsessed right now, and a lot of the flares I'm getting into are more like pooling at the bottom. So it's okay. That's a very like feminine look. Like this reminds me of like something Chanel would give to women. And is he wearing? No, I think he's just got some shiny gams. I thought he was wearing like hose for a second. A lot of the time, my mind goes to like resort. This shirt's cool. It looks like 2 shirts stacked on top of each other, again with no pants. See that repeated breast pockets down low. I hate to always be doing this, but I'm going to make comparisons to Balenciaga, particularly the Balenciaga Fall Winter 17 campaign. All the raincoats, and then all those, again, that shirt with the sort of double pocket. Again, not loving the bag. I mean, the bags are fine, but it's just like, just buy a nylon utilitarian bag somewhere for getting stuff done. But all the gams out with like what it would be like a business attire otherwise. Oh, I love that color of blue. I'm obsessed with that right now. it just reminds me of that Balenciaga show. Like, okay, we got the dress and then this like military shirt. I mean, hard to see, but see when Balenciaga did this, come on. It was funny. I was watching Last of Us of all things, and the kind of military leaders like military sweater with the we got to look at this hat. It's going too fast. This is a cool piece. It's got this like fringe on the bottom, but it's like one of those military sweaters with the the nylon for the shoulders and what look like epaulets. There's that blue again. But yeah, this these, I guess when they do the funky colors, it is kind of fun. And also that looks like more fringe. Man, the gams are out on this season. They love the gams. They said something about Utopian. They wanted it to have a lot of like color and a lot of fun. Which, I mean, they're clearly having fun. They're not, this is a very unserious show. And as far as I know, this is both Mucha. Yeah, it's like a boat neck, flowery. I saw a lot of those. They're doing a lot of the like boat neck collar. Mucha Prada and Raf Simons did this show. Is that another boat neck? Looks like it. Yeah, the knits are fun. Oh, that is very, actually, it reminds me of like Margiela's sweater. But actually, I mean, Raf was doing that for years at Calvin Klein, and yeah, Yeah, is that a knit? I don't know if that's a knit. A little hard to tell. There's that jacket again. That one's kind of weird to me in not a bad way. It's got some like interesting like pins on it and sort of distressed look to it. I don't know that I love those jackets. Man, the show is too, it's so schizophrenic when you watch it like this. Excuse me for using the phrase schizophrenic, chaotic. It's hard to focus on any one thing, which maybe is the intention. Yeah, I just don't love the bags are giving like 8th grade schoolgirl to me, which means some people probably love them. Okay, so this is the stuff I started to see that I actually really liked was the aggressive lack of break in the pants and in the, this jacket is sick. What can I say? I'm a sucker for green. In the pants and in the sleeves too, just being so pulled up. It feels like a deliberate reaction against, look at that jacket though. Deliberate reaction against like the baggy, oversized fit. Of course, this is the kind of thing that's like tough to pull off because if you wear it out, a lot of people would probably think that you just got a size too small or that it looks goofy. You have to wear it with a lot of intention, which is fine. Just be intentional. There's that slick, I do like that like plasticky, shiny finish they've got on a lot of the jackets and stuff, like that green. I think I saw a red. Yeah, there it is. And again, that like aggressive sleeve crop. I don't know what to call it. Those two jackets are really sick. I would go for those. I'm not loving as much the they have a couple. They flashed it for a brief moment. Let me actually go down. Yeah, I'm going to go down here a little bit. The jackets that are more a little looser fit, I'm not as big of a fan of. This image got censored. Yeah, these guys. I don't know. It's cool. I like the aggressively long belt strap. And again, man, boat shoes or loafers all over this bee. This almost looks like, it's hard to see what it is, but it almost looks like religious garb or something. That's kind of interesting. Again, censored. Look away, kids. Yeah, I don't know. I actually had an oversized like Raf Simons Calvin Klein Wile E. Coyote sweater at one point. I miss it. I shouldn't have sold it. But it reminds me of this. The shoes actually remind me a little bit of Vans there. I think we saw a lot of these already. I mean, a lot of it's like cool, nice sweater. I don't know if it's worth your $10 bajillion. That jacket is nice. I wonder if that's actually full leather, if that's like a pleather or something. This jacket is sick. This reminds me of that picture of Jared Leto looking at the like green trench on the runway and then like, flash to weeks later, he's got it. Yeah, the bags, I mean, I don't know. There's something cool about them, but like, I don't know. Just buy a utility bag of some kind, something that's going to last a long time and not cost you $10 billion. $10 billion. It's kind of like, I don't know. That one is this the same jacket? It's like a Harrington jacket or something. It's decent. But again, if I'm going to buy Prada, I want some Prada-ass Prada. I want something that's going to like scream it a little bit. Man, imagine wearing, someone would just be like, why are you doing that to your suit, man? Why are you wearing a tracksuit underneath it? So this is a good time to address actually the note that I saw. This is from The Guardian. And I'd read this a while back, but I think the show is a continuation of this trend. If the clothes and fabrics looked incongruous, that was deliberate. They were trying to resist the algorithm. I think that's a formative core tenet of theirs now and moving forward. These are things that shouldn't be together, coming together, said Simmons. For example, he added the men wore jewelry, but sometimes, this is from a previous show, just so you know. Sometimes the jewelry dangled from the crew neck jumpers or lapels. Some of the more traditional cowboy-style boots, those boots are sick, by the way, but more than half had bare chests. Office-friendly slacks in dark gray were paired with faux fur tabars. So if you read like notes on this show, they're the same thing. Again, tracksuits and boat shoes and dress socks and a raincoat. You know, it's all like basically like if everything is going to be controlled by the algorithm and AI, not controlled, I shouldn't say, but like a predictive generative model, then they are interested in clothes that defy that ability to predict something. It's a mission I understand and agree with. I'm an artist in my day-to-day and I use AI through my work. It's commercial work. I'm in this weird position where I see the positives of it and I see the negatives of it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of negatives, especially for like independent artists and the environment. But also like I kind of hate the whole like AI slop thing. Like I'm worried, especially like I'm making these videos now. I'm worried that like what's even the point? Because pretty soon everyone's just gonna be watching videos that are like like you could get an AI generated summary of this show, you know, like that. But I guess to me, that's not interesting. I don't like this jacket. I do like this one. This reminds me of their barn jacket that they came out with like a couple seasons ago with like the distressing and stuff. Kind of like that one a little bit better, but I do like these pants. Sorry, I digress. So I think the mission is very interesting of like putting together things that don't necessarily go. I guess the only like criticism I'd hurl back at that is, and it's not even a criticism, it's just kind of a comment. That's mostly in styling. Like, I mean, it's inspirational. Like, you could look at this stuff and be like, oh, I'm inspired to dress this way or whatever. But the clothes themselves, other than, you know, I shouldn't say that entirely across the board. Like, this sweater is interesting with this, like, low seam pocket setup. It's, like, cinched at the waist or something. Like, that's, and also, they're not fully defying the baggy trend, obviously, with these. But, like, you know, at the end of the day, these are just, like, dress shoes. So if you functionally wear them and don't go along with their styling, then, like, are you really mixing it up that much? Are you really making something that's like unique and defying the AI algorithm, whatever? Again, that kind of boat neck style. Jacket's nice. I don't know what to call these. They're like underwear. They're like bloomers kind of. But they're very present. Also, in terms of like styling the stuff, you have to kind of not look like a crazy person. I hate to be like overly focused on function, but like I can't show up at the office like this, bro. I don't know what you want me to do about that. And I probably can't show up at a resort either. They'd be like, what are you doing? There's a homeless gentleman here and he's needs to be whisked away. This reminds me of like the dude on Jurassic Park trying to like hide with Newman. Like he's kind of like businessy, but he's got this dumbass hat on. Again, this sweater is interesting, but the cinching in the middle there. So I guess overall, as I come to the end of it, like I don't love this show. I do like what they were trying to do. I think the last collection was better. There's a couple interesting pieces. I don't know that I'd go out of my way to actually like buy any of them, except for I did like that green jacket. And again, I think the thing that kind of drew me to it was seeing the styling and seeing like the cuts. That's interesting. And their overall thesis of like wanting to do something positive is cool. They're always very creative. Like I look at what YSL has done. Actually, I wonder when is YSL showing? I should look that up. I look at what like YSL has done the last couple of years and I love it. But it also feels like extremely samey. So I like that Prada's like often throwing you for a loop and doing something cool. But what do you guys think? Do you like this show? Do you hate this show? Do you think they're moving in the right direction? Do you think this show has any implications for where fashion is going to go in the next couple of years? That'd be really interesting to me. Again, for whatever reason, I'm thinking about like hems and pant lengths and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, it's like a beautiful mind where I'm trying to draw connections and see where things are going. I think flares are going to continue to be huge. And I wonder if we are going to we're already tired of baggy and we're starting to come back. I think slim and skinny in particular, I think is like the next wave. Huge asterisk. I don't like when we overly focus on like, oh, your jeans skinny. Who cares? But you know, I've been throwing them back in the rotation. I don't care. It's chuggy. I'm a millennial. Screw it. Yeah. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe. Just helps me know what kind of videos you guys are liking. And if you like this kind of thing, I'll keep making stuff like this. I find there's like a lack of coverage of shows and stuff and just discussion on them. And that's the stuff that when I'm like looking around the internet or whatever, like that's the stuff I want to see and want to put on is just like other people's impressions of these things and like like get a little bit of discussion going, especially for like men in the space, weirdly enough. Like I feel like a lot of the ladies are like talking about this stuff, but not as much the guys. So again, if you like it, leave a like, do subscribe, and I'll do more of them. All right. Peace.